Man and Machine is brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors.
Unbelievable! Now we're talking.
And you seem to have a passion for the Shelby vehicles, I see.
Yeah, I think that was probably started with the Cobras. I remember, probably like a lot of people my age, seeing that Amoco ad where a red Cobra went up a highway, and I've always wanted to own one. And probably besides that, probably the most iconic car I always wanted was, as a young fella, probably, would have been late 20s, the Lamborghini Countach poster. I think when I saw one of those, I just thought, how do you buy one of these cars? How do you own one? Who owns them? And I think the Cobra and the Countach, if someone was to say which two cars you'll always remember, they'll always be by far the two cars I'll always just associate myself, and luckily enough, I'm fortunate to have them. I love them both. They're probably my favourite cars.
Well, Joe, I think my heart rate just went up a notch or two. Mate, is this really what I think it is?
Yep. This is the big kahuna, I suppose. She's a 69 Raven Black Boss Mustang, 429. To be precise, there were 859 of these cars produced in 69, and then there was a carryover of 500 approximately in 70. There was only, I think, 90 or 91 ever made in Raven Black, and they came in 6 colours. In 69, all in one colour, where in 70 the body was the particular colour and the scoop was always black. But the 69 was the one to have. We've done a complete ground up restoration on this car. We purchased it in 2010 in California. Rob Darnell did the restoration in Melbourne. Dick Savvy completely redid the whole motor because that was fairly old and clagged and beaten down.
What was the car like when you picked it up, when you found it?
We actually, there is a little bit of story. The guy, we ended up buying 3 cars of him. We bought this. He had a white Boss, would you believe, but not matching number. And we also bought the 67 Bullet car, which we had, which I brought over, did up, and I sold it to actually a client of mine, and that was black, and so that was the story. It was sort of 3 cars we packaged all up.
A package deal.
A package deal.
And you kept the jewel in the crown.
And I kept this one because that was the one that I wanted.
Shannons Club, a hub for motoring enthusiasts. So join, create your own garage, share pics, videos and stories of your current and past machines, connect with other enthusiasts. Be sure to watch Shannons Club TV with a host of dedicated motoring channels, including past episodes of Man and Machine. So jump on board with Shannons Club. I'll see you on there.
With a car like this, obviously we haven't driven it that much because of the work that's been done to it. Obviously it's a fully concourse car. We won gold at the Nationals a couple of years ago up in Newcastle at Mustang, and I think we polled just on about 979 points to be precise. It's just a magnificent car. It's just, you know, one of those cars that is right up there with anything.
Mate, I'm told that this particular model of car is potentially one of the most desirable and sought after muscle cars ever. Now, I'm sure that some may argue that point, but it'd be pretty hard to argue because it's so rare. You've got that big Boss 429. It was designed for NASCAR. It was designed to take on the 426 Hemi. They rated at 375 horsepower from the factory, but dyno tests on the engine dyno had proven well above 500 horsepower, so they were heavily underrated. Unbelievable. So that Boss 429 is a very iconic engine. Unbelievable, isn't it?
It is, and it probably rates with all, I'd say, all the big bangers, you know, of that beautiful era, that 69, 70. So whether you're a Boss fan or a Camaro or Hemi Cuda, they're all just amazing, unbelievable cars, all of them. And this is, I'd like to think is one of them that I like, but great respect for, you know, everything else around that era was just amazing. And then really in 71, I think it all died, or they suffocated everything in
the oil crisis.
Yeah, and they
killed
all
it all. Killed all those fuel guzzlers.
Yeah, and they all just went away. So yeah, there's a few Bosses in Australia, but they did come out in 5 or 6 colours. But you know, Raven Black is always,
it's bad.
It's just bad. Yeah,
and quite an unusual spare in these two little space saver spares.
Yes, it must be. I'm not a technical man, but I reckon it must have been one of the first cars that had that spare saver in there. Yeah. Hopefully I never have to use it because I got no idea how it works, but she's there. I've
heard that this car is up for sale as we speak.
Yes. Now you may say, after all that, you're going to sell it. Yeah. Look, I think I'd like to do another resto, or whether it's on an iconic car, or whether it's on get an Aussie car or a race car. There's nothing more I can do with this car. It's about as close to perfect as you can get, and it's, yeah, I probably can't believe it myself, but it's probably time to maybe consolidate and get something else. And I'd like to, and I think eventually if I found another one, I'd probably do it all over again. But so I've just recently put it up for sale with Chris Bowden. He's doing the sale or handling the sale, but you know but you know, people can come to me, whatever. But yeah, we have put it up for sale.
Interested in finding your very own muscle car like these? It's so easy to find your next dream car. Just head to uniquecarsales.com.au. Select by make, model and more to find the perfect car for you, or just browse your favourite category. You'll find a massive range of cars like the ones we've just seen at uniquecarsales.com.au. This We Know Cars segment is proudly brought to you by Autobarn.
Ever jumped in your classic car on the weekend only to find out it won't start? Well, today we're going to talk about maintaining your battery, especially when it comes to vehicles that sit around with limited use. Now, batteries can go flat within 2 weeks of the car not being driven. When they're kept fully charged, they'll actually last 3 to 4 times longer than the one that's left to go flat and then recharge. So let's talk about some of the projector range here at Autobarn, starting with this projector AC250B unit here. It's safe and easy to use. It can also be used on a battery still fitted in the engine bay. It has a reverse polarity option and you don't have to worry about turning it off. You just leave it on, effectively connect and forget. It's also spark free, so even if the clips short together before it connects to the battery, you don't have to worry about any sparks happening. You don't need to remove the vent caps either, and it also works on sealed batteries. This unit is extremely practical. It can be wall mounted in the garage, on a firewall, or even use an L bracket to slide underneath the battery. There's a variety of wiring options. You can hardwire it with the charger mounted on board, you can run a harness on the vehicle with the charger on the wall, or you can just use the good old-fashioned alligator clips. The wiring harness can also be connected through the grille too. Then there's the ProCharge 400, which is absolutely packed full of features. It's fully automatic, spark-free, polarity protected, safe to use whilst the battery is still connected in the vehicle, and the output can be adjusted to suit the size of the battery you're charging too. A 6-stage charging gives a professional style charge, making it suitable for a wider range of battery types: automotive, marine and deep cycle. Its sophisticated electronics ensure a faster and more thorough charge. It has 3 different charging modes: calcium and normal, plus rejuvenation, which can restore tired or sulfated batteries. And then there's those moments where you've got a flat battery and you need to get going in a hurry. That's where this Projector HP 1200 jump starter comes in handy. Its quality high-performance sealed AGM batteries give higher cranking capabilities too. And with its long 1.25 metre heavy-duty leads, it allows easy connection so you don't have to lift the unit into the engine bay. The HP 1200 also features intelligent electronic safeguard protection, being polarity protected and surge protected. Another great feature is its 12-volt socket for convenient power supply, and it also has a robust case and compact design, which makes it comfortable to carry. To charge the pack, you can use either its 240-volt charger, or it can be charged from a 12-volt cigarette lighter socket. So as you can see, Projector and Autobahn have many options to get you going when you need it most. So now, there's no excuse not to enjoy that classic car on a nice sunny day.
At Autobahn, we know that your wife and the love of your life aren't always the same thing. We know that music makes the journey go faster, so we've got a full range of car audio systems. We know a bit of effort can save a lot of money, so we have everything you need to take care of your car. We know the difference between fashion and protection, so we have a huge range of seat covers. And we know you're busy, so our expert staff can fit all sorts of products and accessories for you. Autobahn, we know how to get you there.
G'day, my name's Rob Godfrey and I use and recommend Aeroflow fittings, whether it be for show or go.
Hi, I'm Poe. This is my 7-second Supra. I use and recommend Aeroflow.
Hi, I'm Chris Palazzo.
And I'm Corbin Palazzo.
Show or go, we use Aeroflow.
I'm Mario Colillo. Mild or wild, I use Aeroflow.
Aeroflow, manufacturers of professional hose, fittings and a whole range of performance products to suit your vehicle. To download the latest Aeroflow catalogue, go to aeroflowperformance.com. Proud supporters of the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars.
You do have a bit of a passion for racing too, don't you?
Yeah, look, but the passion's there, but the talent's not. I only started probably 2 or 3 years ago. I've never raced in my life, so I've had some terrifying moments, but now I'm enjoying it more because I started very late. I mean, well, I'll be careful I won't tell my age, but it was very late. So now I enjoy it. It's fantastic, and I want to do more and more. It's just a lot of fun, and with racing, it doesn't matter whether you're up the back, as long as there's 2 or 3 cars, you have your own race. You don't even care who's in front. You're just having your own little race. When we took a couple of cars to Monterey, I got to drive in the pre-reunion at Laguna Seca and down to Corkscrew, and how fortunate could you be? I couldn't even believe I was there just doing it.
Well, Joe, I think I might be right in saying this car here could be the jewel in the crown of AC Cobras. Would I be right there?
You would be. Here we have a very special car, a 65 big block 427, which is it's an incredible car and probably the most replicated car in the world, as they say. But this is the real McCoy. Funny enough, we bought this car in Australia. It's a bit of a story. I was at Longford in Tasmania a few years ago, and someone told me about this Cobra that was in Tasmania, and it wasn't very far from Longford. It just happened. They took me to have a look at it. She was in bright red, and after a couple of weeks just negotiating with the fellow who owned it, he had a big car collection over there. We bought the car, but it's got a massive sort of history. Another street car, so it never raced. We don't have the humongous flared guards of the race car, so a little bit different. But she's a street car, and the exhausts out the back, unlike the side ones, because I think there was a fallacy that every Cobra had side pipes. The only ones that had really side pipes were the race cars. Yep. All the street cars came out with just your normal twin system.
And there's quite a history behind this car. This is one of the first, or possibly the first 427 converted vehicle, would that be right? Yeah,
it was a really very early car. They started with the 427s and they went to 428, so there's a lot less 427s, and this was one of the first ones. Bought by a European, so it went straight to Europe. And somehow, we've even found a magazine, it opened the Brussels Automobile Show in '66, and it did that in a colour of red. So It's had about 5 colours.
Wow.
So the fellas over there painted it red and then had it converted over there. So this was a car that was converted by Autocraft, I think in the late 60s. Then it made its way to Australia mid 70s, or I think 77, and it was painted blue. Was featured in a fair few motor magazines. Ended up, I think it went to blue, went to green. I saw it in red, and this was the actual original colour.
So it's back to where it was.
So it's back to where it started. So really the only thing I've ever done to it was paint it back to the original colour, which we wanted to do. There was only about 250 of these made completely. That included race cars, so not many of these around. Unlike the small block, an animal to drive, hates the heat.
A raw racer.
Oh yeah, just
I mean, that 427 side oiler is an iconic engine, 425 horsepower, 480 foot-pound of torque.
Yeah, it's
and 164 mile per hour top speed. Now that's not hanging
scary.
about. Low 12-second quarter mile,
Yeah,
off the
straight
showroom floor.
Off the shelf, yeah, and to
What a
think
weapon.
that it is, and to think that in the 60s was just scary.
You can see why they had so much success on the racetrack.
Oh
these
yeah,
days.
there wouldn't have been, you know, it's just too fast, too light. And when you, like in America, in a couple of years that we went to the historics, they just dominate everything. The red Corvette that we take out, there's just no match for them. They just win because they're just too fast.
Powerhouse.
Just powerhouse. But still love the little red Corvette. But these are, you know, they're a real thing.
For all you enthusiasts out there that have always dreamed of having a hoist in your garage but thought it was out of reach, then think again, because Tough Lift hoists have that problem solved. They have a full range of enthusiast and professional hoists starting from just under $2,500. They're all designed and manufactured to a very high standard, fully certified for maximum safety, and have exceptional warranty that comes with all the backup and advice you need from Tough Lift's dedicated sales and service team. Hoists can be used for many purposes, including mechanical repairs, restoration, cleaning the underside of your vehicle, or even for storing multiple vehicles in situations where storage space is a problem. So let's get technical with Matt Porter from Tough Lift.
Here we have one of our 2-post enthusiast hoists that are fitted with a variety of safety features, which I'm going to run through with you now. They come with an asymmetrical arm design, so it's fairly easy to actually swing the arm straight underneath the car and it can be set up in the correct position. They also have an auto arm lock mechanism as well, so the second that the hoist is raised in the air, the arm lock's engaged, so it can't be shifted. As with all of our hoists, they come with either a 240 volt or a 3-phase power unit. Our 2-posters actually come with a safety limit switch across the top to prevent overheight damage, and they actually come with a chain override system as well in both carriages as an extra safety feature. Whenever you are lifting a car up on a 2-post hoist, always ensure the pads are set in a safe and secure spot, whether it be the chassis rail or the factory recommended lifting points at the front and the rear. And when lowering the vehicle on one of these hoists, simply a 2-point lock release system, and just come around the other side and lower the hoist down. One of the major advantages of a 2-post hoist is the accessibility you have to in and around the vehicle and being able to stop it at any height for any repairs that are required to be carried out, whether it be anything from brakes and suspension work to a full engine change out or to a diff and a fuel tank replacement.
Tough Lift have 22 hoists in their model range for the enthusiast and the professional. They can custom manufacture to suit any application, and you can even order a specific colour of your choice. Each hoist is built to comply with the required safety standards, including engineering and work-safe design registration certification. To complement your new Tough Lift hoist, they even have a full range of workshop equipment available. See toughlift.com.au.
Now that's what I call an uplifting experience. Tough Lift have a delivery and installation solution Australia-wide. So no matter where you're located, you can have a shiny new Tough Lift hoist in your garage or professional workshop in no time. So with this outstanding quality and pricing, there's no need to be crawling around on your back with jack stands anymore. Call Tough Lift's friendly sales team and they'll be more than happy to help. I've got mine ordered for Project Warhorse. Now it's your turn. Well, Joe, I'd like to say thank you very, very much for letting us have a look at your collection here, mate. It's been an awesome day. And you did say that I could drive a car. and you've got a lot of cars here to choose from.
Wasn't sure which one you were going to pick.
It's been a real hard job because I'm a big fan of all the cars you've got here, especially the Raven Black 429 Boss, but I just don't think I can go past the 65 Shelby, the first Shelby Mustang, mate. So do you mind if I drive this car?
Absolutely, mate. Keys are yours. What can I say? Handle with care, but enjoy to drive.
I'll be honest with you, mate, I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
You'll enjoy it.
Well, thanks very much,
Pleasure, mate. Just glad to share it with everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy the ride.
Very much.
Righto, pal. Take it easy, mate.
Am I dreaming? I think I'm awake. I'm waiting to wake up. I think this is real. I'm actually driving a genuine 1965 GT350 Shelby Mustang. Wow! Can't believe it. I can't believe it. This car would be an expensive car too, probably $350,000 to $400,000 worth. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm harnessing the moment. Why wouldn't you? Who wouldn't? It all dates back to the legendary Carroll Shelby. He was a gun racer from the 50s, raced in F1, won Le Mans in 1959, and then retired. Massive history behind him, and that's where it all started. With the AC cars, when he started putting American V8s in them, became legend. Then he teamed up with Ford, and they decided to give the Mustang a bit of muscle, and that's exactly what they did. They wanted to go racing with these things, and they had a huge amount of success. They were built in limited numbers, of course, but they all started off as a Wimbledon White DSO 1965 Fastback. But more importantly, they had the 271 horsepower K-Code engine option from Ford, all ready to rock and roll. So they had a really good base. And those little 271 horsepower K-Codes actually had a solid camshaft. They had all sorts of goodies internally, high compression, they were balanced, they had a 4-barrel carb, they also had high-flow exhaust manifolds, and they made their peak power at 6,000 RPM, so they revved up quite well. Now when these things got to Shelby, they were upgraded to the hilt. The little 271 horse 289 was upgraded with a high-rise Cobra intake manifold, a 715 CFM Holly carb replaced their 600 CFM Autolite carb. They also went to tubular exhaust headers and twin pipes with glass pack mufflers. The exhaust actually exited just before the rear wheels, and they were noisy as hell, right from the factory. Also, they had suspension upgrades, they had a fiberglass hood with that awesome looking hood scoop. They had special wheels, they were given the works. These things were made to go racing, and that's what they did, and did very, very well. An interesting thing that I've been told is that the way Carroll Shelby came up with the name GT350, you're not going to believe this, it took him 350 steps to get from his office to the main workshop. So he said, you know what, we're going to call it the GT350. And that's how it all worked out. Can you believe that? I tell you what, there's nothing quite like hearing that exhaust note right in your ear. It's music, the sweetest music you're ever gonna hear, believe me. The exhaust outlets are virtually right at this point, a little further back, but right around this area here, down low right at the sill panel there. So you're gonna hear it. You got no choice. Try and do that these days with a car, side exhaust outlets, no way. It ain't gonna happen. They're all out the back. They certainly take a bit of manhandling. They're a racer, they're a street racer. I mean, the things ran a low 13-second quarter mile, factory stock, straight out of Shelby, and 138 mile per hour. That's a pretty damn fast car for 1965, when effectively it was a factory production style vehicle. They had a 9-inch differential down the rear end with that clunky old Detroit locker. They hooked up good and had good traction. They also had a T10 gearbox with the aluminium housing for reduced weight. They had the whole package of these things. They were built tough and they were built to go fast. The thing I've got to decide here is, do I take it back? Or do I just accidentally keep on driving home? Just park it in the shed. Maybe I can just look at it for a little while and then take it back. I don't think Joe would appreciate that though. All I can say is wow, what an amazing collection this has been, and what an amazing drive that was for me as well. I never thought I'd ever get to drive such a car. Well, guess what? I've ticked that box and had an absolute ball. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did, and we'll see you next time on Man and Machine.
Next week on Man and Machine. We hit the racetrack with the rest of Joe's collection. Ferrari, Lamborghini. We test some killer cars and put them through their paces.
It's so damn fast.
We've got old school too, with 500 plus horsepower of Chevy small block muscle in this red hot Corvette. We also get to see John Bowe behind the wheel of Joe's Cosworth V8 powered 70s Formula One. This is an episode not to be missed. Don't forget, if you'd like to watch past episodes of Man and Machine, jump online and head to Shannons Club. Man and Machine is brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors.